Welcome to F Your Feelings, the greatest podcast to ever exist. This is a phenomenal episode, man. I'm excited about this episode. I say that every episode.
I love it.
I just
was like,
you say that.
yeah.
But I mean it this time.
You said that on the last.
Until next week.
Exactly. But this time I really mean it. I've never said that. We got Craig Wayans. Okay. We got Justine Marino.
Yeah, what's up?
I said it with a little accent.
I love it, though.
What's your ethnicity?
Sicilian.
Sicilian.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yep, watch out. I'll fuck you up.
You heard it here first, y'all. She'll fuck you up. And we got Kojo.
Yes.
You go have to
I like the way everyone else had a last name. You know.
What's your last name?
Anim.
Anim.
I thought it was Joe. Kojo.
I thought
Kojo.
I thought you went by like just Kojo.
Craig, you
like,
might have unlocked something now. You might have unlocked
I thought
something.
that was your stage name, Kojo.
Anim.
Kojo Anim, yeah. Kojo.
Oh, but when you do stand up, do you go by your last name too?
Yeah, I
Speak a little closer. There you go.
To be fair, I think it has been maybe since 2019 that I started using my last name.
Well, there you have it.
Because I was like, everyone's got a last name. It's Kojo by itself. I'm not Prince. I ain't earned the Prince name.
You Beyonce.
Sure.
Right, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel, it felt empty. I felt
Yeah.
like something was missing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I might as well use my last name, so yeah.
Shout out to Kojo Anim.
Okay.
You know what it is too? On your Instagram, your last name isn't on there, I don't think.
Kojo Anim Live.
Is it on there?
Yeah.
Oh, live.
Live.
Is that your last name?
Absolutely not.
See what I'm saying? It's confusing. That's the point that I'm making.
Well, you knew me before the name change, so that makes sense.
I did.
I'll give you that.
Man, it's some stuff I wanted to get into. First of all, I like this episode, man, because we got a bunch of creators here. We got people that created stuff. Y'all both created shows. I know y'all created shows. You working on creating a show, right?
I've created stuff too.
You created TV shows, and I know you self-produce like your special and stuff like that. What y'all feel about when it comes to like creating shows right now? Like, how difficult do you feel like it is to like get these meetings or actually get something made?
You know, it's funny. I was talking about this yesterday on a podcast. My show, the Funny Dance Show, started off as a live show at the Comedy Store that I had an idea to do it. I hit up Heidi. She was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's go. We thought we would do it one time in the belly room, and it just kind of blew up. So I feel like there's something to not trying,
Right.
as weird as that sounds. Like, this was a lightning in a bottle situation. So I can't really give any advice because it was so out of my control. It was just like, boom, this is going to be something.
You know, I actually heard some people talking recently about, it might have been Erykah Badu, was just saying like the key to being successful is like actually doing what comes easy.
Exactly.
Like what comes easy to you is like what you need to like lean into.
Yes.
And I think sometimes people are so concerned about following, I don't know, either their hobby or their passion, but sometimes you're not following your calling. And your calling might be the thing that's kind of come easier to you.
Sure. And I think people get caught up in trying to please what they think the industry wants or anything. Like, the industry wasn't on the hunt for comedy dance shows, you know. It was just something that I wanted to do because I love dance shows. So, and I guess it's my calling to be a professional dancer. I found out in my 30s. Who knew?
What y'all think?
With me, I have fun creating. So I was taught always, if you create, you never have to look for a job.
Ooh, yeah.
So with me, I stay creating because if not, everything will stay in my head and I'll go crazy. So I got to put it on paper. But yeah, and then the people I hang out with, it always seems like we're just hanging out. But as a producer, I'm always scoping like, oh, that's funny that he said that, but that would be a great show. And then I'll go take the energy time, having fun, creating it. And if it goes, it goes. If not, it was great memories.
Yeah. No, I do this. I jot down everything. I'm like purposely like anything that sparks in my mind, like might be a show idea, or now I just write down just random stuff. Like even just like so even like the other day I'm at the post office and there was somebody that was like, you know how like she was giving we was in line. She was giving way too much space between her and the next person. And I'm like, if I was in a car, I would just go around her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, what would she do right now if I just went around her and cut her in line? Because I'm like, yo, you're leaving too much space. Like, we're not on the road right now.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
Maybe it was COVID. What about you? What's your spiel?
I feel like
Keep talking to us. The accent. Oh, man.
I know. I love it.
Just listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah, we listening.
I think there's less excuses now. You know what I mean? Like, there's less excuses. There's so much opportunity to express yourself creatively. I think, especially with stand-ups, it's like maybe that the last 5 to maybe 8 years, I'd say, we now realize stand-up ain't enough. You know,
that's a fact.
It's not enough anymore. It used to be enough, but it's no longer enough now. So now you kind of got to meet people where they're at, but kind of still gauge what you want from that new situation. And I think creating shows like the one that we're on now could have stuck in your head. You know, coming back to what you said about what Erica Badu said, I always believe that we're born with a gift, but 90% of us choose to do things that other people are good at.
That's a bar.
Do you know what I mean? And the reality is, I could want to be Beyonce, right? But if God gave me a hand that's made me the best painter in my city or whatever, why am I not tapping into that? I'm not tapping into it because it's not cool. No one else is doing it. But what I do believe is that you will always be redirected to what is for you because every other door will shut.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I got to in my journey. Like recently, it's like, man, all these no's is leading me to where I ultimately should be at.
Yeah.
Instead of like being like, why I ain't get this or why I ain't get that.
Especially right now, we're in like a guerrilla film like era where it doesn't matter if you have a big budget behind you. Especially now, a lot of the film companies aren't giving big budgets to comedies because all the big budgets are going to the tentpole movies. So you get maybe 3 to 5 if you're black, if you're white, maybe 10, and we're stuck in that hole right now. We're fighting because
you're
they're
a fucking racist, Craig.
No,
you are a fucking racist.
I'm a comedy sis.
No, I'm joking.
They're holding all of us as comedians down. They won't give us budgets. Now Thor gets the big comedy of the year, or something that's not funny. You reading, oh, that one comedy of the year. Right now they're suppressing comedy because of the Me Too movement. And because they don't want to say something in the comedy that 10 years later.
You think it's just the Me Too movement, or it's like just like people like other, like, I don't know. I feel like part of the reason why I call this podcast Fuck Your Feelings, because I felt like it was also like everyone was voicing their feelings and people's feelings were getting hurt also. So yes, in the Me Too movement, people was getting hurt. But then also just like if you got a disability, people was getting hurt. If you felt like your gender or sexual identity was getting talked about, people was getting hurt.
That's because a lot of the comedians now aren't inclusive when they do their humor towards those different groups. Like right now, they were like, In Living Color would have been, it would have got canceled. And it was like, no, it wasn't, because Handyman, a lot of handicapped people didn't have a handicapped hero. And he was pushing line, but from the other side. And he's always taking defense of the handicap. So it's just how you do it. Now it's just such a handcuff on it that they're keeping us from doing it.
Well, people hear keywords and they don't listen to what is being
Sentences,
said, and they just react to it. Yeah.
That's a fact. You say handicap, oh no.
Yeah.
You know, people not even, what I realized too is just like the people that get offended, it ain't even the people that you're talking about. It's like the justice warriors, you know?
Yeah.
So like you'll say something about handicapped people, they'll be laughing, but there's some person, usually white.
As the white person on the podcast, I'll confirm.
You are Sicilian.
Yes, thank you.
Remove yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me that pass. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I don't know. His voice might take it. We're standing behind his voice on this one.
No, but you know what it is? Again, I don't even believe it's feelings.
What you think it is?
I just think it's in just people that like to interrupt, people that like to disrupt, people that like to slow things down, because I'm a firm believer that 90% of the world are not doing what they want to do. So imagine 90% of people got to see 10% people doing what they want to, like. It's about showing some sort of understanding to that crazy mindset of, okay, I get it. How can you not be doing what you got to get up every day? You got to do something that you don't like. You got to speak to the person in the sales team that you don't every day, right? And then I get to get up when I feel like it. I get to be creative. I get to be in my calling. That's why you've now got a generation of people who I would like to call fake ID, which is social media, because it looks great, and then in real life there's no real identification, there's no proof.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
these filter life.
Right.
It's all like a filter life.
But they are the 90% that couldn't do this before.
Right.
And now the game shifted that 90% of people get to be creatives, and now we're blurred to find out where the real stars are now. I remember coming down to LA maybe 10 years ago, and the whole of Sunset Boulevard would be movie stars. Now it's YouTubers.
Yeah.
Now it's TikTokers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like everything's changed because the 90% have now been given a voice.
Yeah, I was just looking at something and they was talking about, it was a Steve Harvey interview he did, and he was talking about with Shannon Sharp, and he was talking about how he was chilling with Denzel Washington, and Denzel was like, yo, I'm gonna show you the difference between me and you when we go out. And he was like, when people was approaching Denzel, they was like, oh, Mr. Washington, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you, oh my God. And then when they approached Steve Harvey, they was like, oh, what's up, Steve? What's going on, brother? What's going on, man? Let me take this picture with all this stuff. Then he was like, Denzel was like, yeah, they treating you like that because people have to pay to see me. Like, people have to go to the movie theater, get popcorn, get a babysitter, and they're watching me on a 25-foot screen, and you in their homes so he was just showing him just like the magnitude. So I brought that up to say the line for what celebrity is and what's an A-lister is like so blurred now because everyone's on TikTok, everyone's on YouTube. Like, no one gives a fuck. I did CBS. Like, that means nothing. That means nothing. It's like, who got the most followers on TikTok and Instagram?
It's so true. I was on Instagram yesterday, and I saw a Skims ad, Kim's shapewear company, for this new shapewear line, and it said, as seen on TikTok. Wow. And I was like, that's great, because I'm old enough to, and I think, we're all of us, similar age. I remember it used to be as seen on TV, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty crazy, as seen on TikTok.
I feel real old. I just got onto that store.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, you seen that scene on TV store? Now they got a scene on TikTok store?
Yep.
Man, they're going to be TikTok comedy specials coming out soon.
I thought about that TikTok comedy special, but I'm listening.
No, so I think somebody once said to me that people go to see celebrities and celebrities come out to see stars.
Ooh.
And that's the difference.
Oh.
That's another bar. You need a T-shirt line.
Yeah. No, but I feel like that really simplifies what it is, and that even today is the difference.
Yeah.
It also used to be superstars. You didn't know everything about them. And that's what made them superstars.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get to see, he's just like me. I thought he had 20 people
he has
waking him up.
a fridge in his house too.
Yeah.
He got the same water as I got.
Yeah.
Well, Jay-Z, I seen Jay-Z roll up on Kevin Hart backstage at one of his comedy shows. And Jay-Z said to Kevin, he said, you made it. I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, so that's Jay-Z saying, like, you officially became a star because I'm here. So congratulations.
I would have had him kicked out. I'd be like, now what? Yeah.
The Rock has left the building.
Now what am I?
Hey, I was thinking about reboots too, though. So even with the Living Color, because you mentioned in Living Color, have they, I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to say, but I was thinking that they should at least think about doing like an In Living Color special for like Netflix. Like, even if it's just like a one-off comedy special. What you think? What's your thoughts on that, Craig?
Well, we had a second In Living Color.
No, I know about that one, but I'm saying,
and they're all famous now. Damn near everybody that was on the second, it didn't go, but it was up to the network. They wanted everybody to come in and just do it as favors. Not necessarily. Keenan was doing it. He was getting paid, but they wanted everybody else to come on and do it as favors, like a Saturday Night Live sketch, and they were like, why? Keenan was like, no, pay them.
Whoa.
Because imagine the budget bringing in Jim Carrey, Damon, Jamie Foxx. It's ridiculous budget. So it just didn't happen. But they had a whole second generation of In Living Color with, was it Tiffany?
I mean,
was it
Fowler?
Jermaine.
I know Jermaine. Yeah, Jermaine.
I know it was Sidney Castillo. It was James Davis. They were writing on it. They had a nice little powerhouse.
Yeah, I know about it. We missing a big name, Lil Rel.
Lil Rel
was on it too. He was on it too. Yeah, I never. I was hoping it was gonna come out. So yeah, I heard about that one.
Afion was on it.
Afion was on that too?
I believe he was on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, I wanted to see that, man. But even if that one didn't go for it, that makes sense though. The financial, like the economics behind it. Fox was probably like, "No, dog," because that is a big budget though.
Yeah, but they wanted Keenan to call everybody and be like, "Hey, man, do this for me," and he's like, "Nah,
That's crazy.
I ain't making that call. Pay them."
That's what I've learned about this business. It's about relationships.
Yeah,
And when you be trying to pitch shows, right? Whatever production company you're working with, they're like, who do you know? And I'm always like, who the fuck do you know?
Yeah.
Like you've been doing this for 20 years.
Right.
How long has your company been established? I'm looking at y'all credits. Y'all acting like y'all don't know nobody in Hollywood. Who do you know? I'm like, who the fuck do y'all know? Like, y'all do y'all goddamn job. And so it's almost like they depend on you, Keenan, whoever you are, Justine, Craig, Kojo, and they were like, "Oh, what celebrities do y'all know?"
And then they push it on, is this a passion piece? Because if you want to do it, we damn sure ain't gonna pay you.
Yeah.
Like the Living Color thing would have been a passion thing for the other people if they wanted to do it. But Keenan was like, "No, pay them.
Well,
I'm not calling to ask them for no favor.
Yeah.
This is something huge. Pay them."
At what point in your career though do you get where there's like just a silent respect? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you look at everything Keenan's got his name attached to, at what point do you just don't even call the man into the room if you're going to disrespect him by telling him in this day and age that he has to go and use his relationships?
Yeah.
Like what world are we living in where people have to call favors with everything Keenan's done? Like Keenan's a
icon.
yeah, I was trying to go higher than that, but I couldn't find it. But like,
he's a god.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's
But
a staple in comedy.
Yeah, I mean, like we're talking about one of our best ever, and the silent disrespect is still there. I remember I did an interview with Chris Rock, and he was like, he was doing a movie. I can't remember what movie it was, and then he just reminded me that you will never have to stop proving yourself.
That's
Never.
so true.
I tell everybody, even after your greatest job, the next day when you wake up, you're unemployed.
It's so
and
true.
You have to get another job.
I got really sad watching the SAG Awards a few years ago, and Robert De Niro was getting the Lifetime Achievement Award or something, and he mentioned, he was like, you gotta keep thinking about your health insurance. Like, the fact that Robert De Niro still has to think about where his health insurance money is coming from and qualifying for it is crazy to me.
That's why, and that's some true shit. Because even I didn't find that out about even like with SAG, like they'll take away your insurance if you're not working.
Yeah.
They don't count residual money. So they don't care about residuals. So even though you still got a bunch of residuals coming in, if you're not currently employed,
What you make last quarter.
Exactly.
It's crazy because you could make 4 times, 10 times, 20 times what the qualification is to get it. But if you don't make that the next year, they won't spread it out for you, which is crazy because that's how this business works is you make a lot and then it has to last, and then if you're blessed to work a lot, you could qualify for that. But most of us actors and people in SAG are just working actors who get a job, make a nice little chunk, and then have to go out and look for the next job.
But then if you think about comedians, you take it down another level. There's nothing to protect the comedians.
That's true.
There's no insurance at least SAG is like, all right, while you're working, we got you.
Totally.
When you ain't working, we ain't got you. With comedy, it's like, good luck.
Yeah.
Don't get sick.
Yep.
don't get slapped.
Yep.
And you better not fall off that stage.
Sue who?
Yeah, straight up, bro. Yeah, that shit is crazy, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think when it comes to hold on, it was something. This is the other thing I wanted to bring up too was the rebooting the stuff, right? So like they're rebooted at midnight. I don't know if y'all know this or not.
Everyone in town is doing the packet now for it. Mike was working on the packet up until driving over here.
I just submitted mine.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
What is that?
I don't even know what at midnight is.
Yeah.
It was that show on Comedy Central. It was hosted by Chris Hardwick. It was very big in Twitter culture years ago. I'm sure now it'll be more TikTok, Instagram, just more broad social media.
A talk show?
What's that?
Wait, so it's fairly new.
Culture.
You was like Twitter. I'm like, oh, that was just yesterday. I'm
It
old.
was like
You're
10
10 years ago Twitter.
No, it's not that old
I would
yet.
say like
I mean, it is kind of old.
I would say what, like it was really prime, maybe like 6 to 10 years
But
ago.
it's a reboot within 10 years?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
That's how lazy we get.
Yeah.
That's lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
exactly.
that's like within
Bring
10
it
years
back.
we did a reboot?
So y'all
Yeah.
never heard of it, huh? No. I equate it to like
What is it?
it's kind of like a game show
Yeah.
with comedians, and so they'll look at like memes,
Yes.
or clips or something. They have to come up with like funny jokes. So I don't know, like they'll show like a headline news article, and then you have to kind of make a joke about that
Is
headline.
it a panel show?
It's like a Chelsea
It's
Lately.
kinda like a panel.
It's
like
a
Chelsea
panel show.
Lately round table
Yeah,
show.
but more games.
But more
too.
games.
Like
Yeah.
Wild and Out?
No, because you're in a. It's not.
Jeopardy.
It's more contained. Yeah, it's more Jeopardy.
It's more Jeopardy
Yeah.
for comedians. That's
Yeah.
kind of more so what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I just submitted mine this morning just because I was like, I like to challenge myself.
Yeah.
So I've never written on a show before, but I've written movies.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was like, let me see. Let me just fucking see. I just want to see if I get hired,
Yeah.
and then I'll turn them down.
Yeah.
Or you might have to change your
Wait.
name.
He said they'll turn them down. I was like, after negotiating.
I know.
Like, wait, I might not.
Like, how much y'all willing to pay me?
Yeah.
Y'all
I
got me
know.
there 5 days a week. Okay,
And I hear
yeah.
the WGA insurance is better than SAG.
Right, man. I'm working on a project, and the dude I'm working on the project with just told me that.
Yeah.
He just said how good the WGA insurance is.
Yeah.
P.S. You know you're old when you're like, oh, the
Well, right
insurance.
now, I think right now everybody getting hired though would not be under WGA because of the strike.
That is true. I was wondering about this, but I think this is in the fall is when maybe
Yeah, I
or
think
something.
so.
I think it's they're
Yeah,
prepping.
the strike won't be done.
Where is it being filmed at? Do you know if it's being filmed in New York or LA?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Where was the original?
New York, baby?
No, it was here.
It was here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I went with a few friends and yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you have it. It had a New York vibe.
That sounds like fun, though, I guess. It sounds like fun, especially with, like, new faces, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I agree. That's
That's-
why I decided to do the package, because
Yeah.
I was like, it seemed like a fun show to work on.
Yeah, and it was a really chill, like I said, I went with a couple friends. It was very chill, very fun, easy. You're in and out in a couple hours. Like even and just how many new comics they introduced on the panel was great.
What was the worst thing in your packet, you think?
The worst thing in
You're
my
like,
packet?
Ah, fuck it, it's late. Let me throw this in there.
You know what I did? Anything that I wasn't happy with, I deleted it out.
Okay.
So what I did was I had a little secret tips. Hey, tips to not get hired. But I'm talking like I booked it and shit like that. Here's a little tip.
Yeah.
You gotta book it because you have this interview.
So what I did was I sent it to my homeboy, my producer. I sent it to him, and I let my wife read it. And I had them mark what was funny.
Smart.
Okay.
And so anything that they agreed on that wasn't funny, I just took it out.
Yeah.
So I know every joke that's in there is it hits.
It hits.
It's outside of yourself.
Yeah. And so now it's just on some, if whoever reads it like me or for whatever reason, if I fit, because that's
Yeah.
a whole nother component that goes
Yeah.
into getting hired.
Oh,
Goodness.
totally. And those packets, I've done a lot of them. I got hired on The Soup, which was another reboot, interestingly enough. That was
Yeah.
a quick reboot, too. We really are running out of shit.
That soup was cold. See, shit like that. That's what At Midnight is. It's just
Yes.
little shit like that.
Exactly. It's punny. It's just quick little jabs. Yeah. Well, I hope what if we both booked it?
That would be fire. And then we could post this clip.
Yeah. Right.
And then my end credits could come on with my theme song. And then we that'll be phenomenal. But so y'all haven't even heard it, because I know you're right. That's why I brought it up, because I was like, I didn't know if you even knew about it to submit for it.
Nah, I don't know about really any of the shows because all I do is create. All I do is create, and then I'll go and if somebody's talking enough about a show or something, I'll be like, all right, let me check it out. And then luckily now I could just binge watch and be like, oh, okay, yeah.
But do you ever do projects or try to do projects outside of like a Wayans project? Or nah, do you just like, I'm just keeping it in family? Because I heard Sean say that a while ago, Sean Wayans. He was just on some like, if it ain't with my brother or whatever within the family, I'm cool on it.
But sometimes I think, especially with the family as powerful as the Wayans, right? It's kind of like thinking about now and reach. Reach sometimes you got to step outside of your comfort zone to touch audiences that may not be familiar with the Wayans. And as shocking as you might think that is, there's a lot of people. When I did Britain's Got Talent, and a lot of people was like, why did you do the show when you've done so much? But then I hadn't touched that audience before. And in the grand scheme of things, your street seems like the world when you're growing up.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like our community as well. It feels like everybody.
Yeah.
But when you step outside your community and realize what everybody look like,
Yep.
there's a difference between being on the Shade Room and then being on the newspaper.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
do you know what I mean? Like that newspaper thing is wild.
Yeah.
I'm all for working outside my family. I usually do, but it's like all the young comics or whoever's comics, usually I'm the first one to work with them.
Right.
But I've also learned that most projects, if I touch it, it's a Wayans project. That's how people see it.
Yeah,
if
it's
you
true.
come in, they're like, oh, no, that's Wayans project. Even when people see me, like I did the BET Awards a couple times, and people came in and seen me and came straight to me, and I was like, no, I'm just writing here. This ain't mine.
Y'all take it over.
The last one was when the Jacksons were there, and they all came over to me to talk to me, and I was like, no. Go talk to them. This ain't mine. But I'm open to working with everybody. I love comedy. I love drama. I love everything. I've worked outside the family.
Yeah, man. How difficult, like, when it comes to notes? Because I know y'all have had shows on the air. So I haven't had a show that I created to get on the air yet. But it's coming soon.
Yeah, it is.
How y'all deal with those, like, network notes and studio notes? Do y'all take them in, or y'all like, these are trash? Like, how do y'all go about handling those?
On single cam, it's a lot easier because you get them up front and you can deal with them. It's just on multicam when you get in them 2-3 times a week. And I've been in rooms where we had Don Rio, who he has been doing it so long that he talks to them like they're children. They're like, we don't like this joke, then what joke do you like? All right, leave
Smart.
the jokes up to me. Don't tell me about a joke, tell me about a story point. And then I've seen others who just take every note and like, we got to change this, we got to change this, we got to change this. But then you also, if depending on who the star is, you're taking all these notes and the star might be like, nah, I want to do it this way.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's weird. When it
You
comes to
know,
notes.
it's hard. You have to pick your battles, obviously. My show was not called The Funny Dance Show when we originally started doing it. That was a note that we couldn't fight, unfortunately.
Oh, damn.
It was the better of the two titles that was pitched to us, if believe it or not.
And hold on, what was the original title?
It was originally called Stand Up to the Streets, which is a play off Step Up to the Streets.
Oh, gotcha.
And you know,
I can see that because that sounds more like it's a stand-up comedy.
yes, and I get that, but we pitched some other ones that were kind of, can we, compromise here? And they were just not having it. But it is frustrating. And tell me if you agree, when you're a funny person, you do this all the time, and then these people who are just running the shots think that they have funnier ideas than you. It's like, why did you hire us?
It's that, and then sometimes they moonwalk on their note because it's not just network, it's network and studio.
Yeah.
So sometimes, depending on how their week went, they might get in a tiff with notes, and you're stuck with that nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah. You about to say something, Kojo?
Yeah, I think somebody was, because I'm going back and forth with the network at the moment for a sitcom idea that I'm developing. And I think it comes back to what you said in terms of picking your battles. I think as creatives, we've got to really figure out what is a passion project and what is a giveaway.
Yep.
Because sometimes the idea isn't that deep to you. Do you know what I mean? Notes sometimes will come in the sense of, you ain't going to get all the credit for this. We've got to feel like we had part to play in the success of this too.
Yep.
Well, also they have a lot of people with holding deals that they've paid, and they're like, "Well, we paid them already. We need to put them on something, so we throwing them on your show."
There you go.
Like, huh?
Exactly. And all of that over here was new to me. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people are in LA, and this is just from being on the outside, right? I feel like everybody on LA's got a deal, but that deal don't mean anything. It just means you got a deal, but it ain't coming out.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fact.
Do you know
That
what I mean?
even goes with the $100 million deals you hear about
Right.
people having. You're like, wow. Then you're like, wait, they got
That's-
to turn all this in?
Yeah.
That just means a deal only means that you're obligated to pitch your idea to them first.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean the shit's gonna actually
Oh,
get
totally.
picked up.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're going to get paid that deal.
Yep.
Oh shit, that too?
Yeah, if they don't if they're like, we need 5 movies from you, 3 sitcoms, and whatever. If they don't like nothing that you bring in, you ain't getting that money.
Wow.
I didn't know that part.
That's part of the reason why Chappelle left. He was like, oh, 50 million. Then he was like, wait, y'all just put a whole bunch of, I thought it was just 50 million. I got to get all this done. He was like, never.
Oh, see, I thought that money was guaranteed. They playing motherfuckers like an NFL contract.
Yeah, and then with the holding deals, they used to give you a holding deal and you go home and just try to come up with projects.
Yeah.
Now they give you a holding deal and they put you on the show. So you're working on the show while you're coming up with ideas, and they just move you from show to show. You don't just get to go home with that money no more.
Man, my homeboy won a competition. He won an NBC competition for acting. They never put him on nothing.
Wow.
He won an entire, like, did a countrywide drama acting competition. He won. It's my homeboy.
Yeah.
They didn't put him on one show.
But you know what's funny? Winners of shows like that don't often do anything.
So
But it
true.
was like behind the scenes though. It wasn't even like a televised thing.
Right.
It was
Right,
just
okay.
because they'll do
Yeah.
like little industry showcases,
right.
like competitions.
Yep.
But yeah, they still played them though. To your point, still. I mean, they still played them.
For the most part, they don't give you anything. Now, if he would have went, you still have to do all the work.
Yeah.
He would have had to go find him a writer, a showrunner, another co-star, an ensemble cast, then go in.
But I'm saying just like as an actor though, they could have thought like
that
so
just means they're gonna send him into the auditions, and now he gets into the casting director.
that's some bullshit.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think I would say like sometimes it won't feel like it, but we are on the right side of this business, all four of us, because we're used to those fights.
Right.
We're used to once we get the opportunity, then we have a phone book of people that we can call on, people that we know have come through the trenches with us, people who have written and failed. My whole thing is I can't work with anyone who's never failed before. I can't trust you. Ooh. How can I trust you to come back if something doesn't go your way?
If something goes wrong, we're just going to sink. I need to know you know how to get the pail and start.
Right. You know, exactly.
But no, I don't think anybody has not failed.
No, but again, it's sometimes you got people that might be really talented, but haven't sunk their teeth in yet.
I feel you.
And it's about
I see what you're saying.
Because sometimes you can really like someone, but you're working with them too early. And I've been in positions where I brought someone in because I just think you're so gifted and so talented, but when shit hits the fan, they're not proven on being able to return after adversity.
Yes.
And those things matter when you're trying to be creative.
Yep.
You got to know that. Do you know what? Okay, we got other ideas.
We're also in a good spot. I just started doing stand-up, but you do stand-up.
What?
So,
You what?
yeah.
Wait, you just started?
Just starting.
When? Where you been at?
Once my
Where you been at?
Once my kid
Justin
turned
jumped
18,
out the chair, by the way, ladies and
Because he
gentlemen.
notoriously didn't do stand-up.
Yeah, because when writing, I didn't want to do the same thing night after night after night.
Right.
It bored me. So now that my kids are grown, I can just leap out. I stopped writing as much. I write only projects I really want to direct.
My bad. I just hijacked whatever you was about to say, though. What you was about to say?
I was saying with us, we're in a better position because he gets to see the talent that's going to be coming in for his show. So if he wants, he's like, he can see you. He knows your material. He's like, do it like this joke. And as a creator, now he's getting what he wants, and it's easier than going through 50 million tapes of guys where he's like, oh, no, I like when Justin does this, and I like how he acts it out. Act this the same way.
Man, that's the biggest lesson I learned from writing Half Baked 2 was that, for real, this was the biggest lesson I learned, to be a producer on whatever you write.
Oh, for sure.
Because if you're not a producer on whatever you write, after you write it, you're done. You're basically fired.
Yeah.
They're like, thank you, Negro, bye.
Thank you for what you thought was your idea. We're gonna change it up now.
And then here's the trick that they do. They'll be like, so with your story, your script, I'm like, well, if it's my script, why I can't stay on set? I'm confused.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, bye, here's your plane ticket, bye. You know, so that's the biggest thing that I learned is like, whatever you write on, when possible. So like Half Baked, I wasn't a producer, but that was my first feature film to get made. But whatever the next thing, if they come back to me and say, yo, we want you to write another script, it's like I have to be a producer.
Yes,
Yeah.
so you could pick the director to help with your vision getting to the screen.
Yeah.
And if
Or
possible,
else, I was gonna say, or else they could take your idea and be like, high too. You know what? We were thinking we're gonna take the high out of it.
Right. Well, it's half.
It's just how to.
It's half baked.
I'm sorry, half baked.
You know, what's so funny. Initially, my manager called me, my old manager. He was like, "Hey, do you want to write How High 3?" I said, "Hell no." I said, "Have you seen 2?" I said, "No, I don't want to write How High 3." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I meant Half Baked 2." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I do that shit."
Oh my God, How High 3? Like, I kind of need to see that now.
Have you seen the second?
I haven't seen the second.
Okay.
Only the first. Was it bad?
Yachty was in it, right?
Oh yeah.
I like Yachty. I like Yachty. He was in it, right?
Shout out to Yachty. Yeah, he was in it.
That's-
Yeah. Hey man, again,
The energy got weird.
you're calling versus.
I don't know him like that. You talk about it.
I'm just saying, man. That goes to like again, your calling versus what things you just want to do.
Yeah.
Everybody not meant to be an actor. Kanye, he's not a good actor. He tried acting. He tried to do little sketches on SNL or whatever. He didn't do well at it, and then he eventually even said in the bar like, I can't act."
Yeah.
He realized, I can't do everything. You have to kind of know what your skill set is.
Yeah.
And I think he can't act because he's so authentic. He's so authentically himself.
Yeah.
He don't know how to make believe to be anything else.
Yeah.
People see him as one way and can't imagine him as another.
Yeah,
It's
but
that
I'm just
as
saying
well.
the craft of him acting though.
It's like he might find his sense of humor funny, but when it comes on the screen, it's like, that dude's weird. But all his boys are on the side like, yo, you killed that.
And just not throwing him into any vehicle though. Do you know what I mean? Like as bad as he may be, there's a vehicle that will work.
Yeah, him playing Kanye.
Get him to the Greek with Kanye.
You see what I'm saying? Like if he does something like that, I think he'd kill it. Same thing with Diddy. If get him to the Greek, right? So when he's playing something that's like naturally him, then they'll kill it.
He can't even act with them big shades on. You like, oh shit, I can see the bad acting through the shades. How you act bad with big shades on?
He was good as the Joker on Halloween though.
Oh yeah, but that was real.
It got real.
So committed. He posted like 19 pictures. I was like,
That
did
was
he?
dope. That was dope.
Yeah, it was. I was like,
Yeah,
Diddy's
that was
feeling
dope.
himself as the Joker.
Yeah, man.
That was brilliant.
Hey, how you feel being in? Because how long you been in the U.S. now? Like living here?
January.
January. How you feel like it is now that you like here? Like how do you feel like you assimilated quickly? You think because you used to visit all the time, or are you still like somewhat seeing like a culture difference?
So I've lived in New York for a year.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, I lived in New York for a year and LA, just kind of coming back and forth. And I always say to people, before you decide to move somewhere, go and visit a couple of times, right? Because I'm telling you, the same place that was a vacation is very different when you live there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's anywhere in the world. Like, go and really build a community slowly. And I've been coming to LA for 15 years. So
Wait, from where exactly?
From London.
Okay.
London, England. So it's like I'm flying out. I'm building relationships. I'm working with people, flying people to London, building those relationships so that when I actually put my foot down, there's a community of people that I already know. Do you know what I mean? If I need to try and get on some shows, if I need help, getting a place or all those things, like coming out here and staying for periods of time has allowed me to kind of build my own community. So when so my mum passed away last year in August, thank you. And my mum spent 25 years in America because her passion was always to live out here and do her thing. So when she passed, it really reconfirmed, do that thing that you feel makes sense. And I feel like just as a talent, I'm more ready now. You've known me for a long time, coming out and building that confidence. It's my language, but I was like, damn, will they understand me?
Yeah.
Those things, my rhythm, my pace, all of those things, tweaking words so that the joke isn't slowed down. Do you know what I mean? And figuring all of that out. Comedy's difficult at home, much less abroad.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So it's respecting where you're going into, not blaming them, but figuring out how to win them over and how to kind of get your style across.
Yeah, it's kind of. I seen in London. We went to some Jamaican food spot that they did stand up in the room, and they don't laugh as much than certain American crowds.
I think we do, but our humor, for let's say like the black circuit, for example, it's very much cultural. It's very much like
You saying in America or in London?
in London.
Okay.
So like it will be like a Caribbean audience or an African audience. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of the jokes tend to come from cultural differences.
Yeah, because
rather-
Will's events killed.
Right. Well, there you go. Right. So Will's.
Why you?
And they was like,
Right?
So Will's like one of the first people that really tapped into the London. Will, Ian, you
Edward,
know,
yeah.
like you know, there's a whole bunch of people from New York that were coming before, maybe people from LA, and it was like they would come and they'd build slowly. You know, they'd build slowly. But again, when Will comes with the Haitian thing, that's cultural. You get that straight away. It's served on a plate that we're familiar with. Do you know what I mean?
certain American references just be like, whew.
Right.
Well, yeah, but that's it. The references do, but at the same time, we've watched American TV 90% of our lives over English. And sometimes when you guys come over, you act like that isn't the case because you're not sure, which is understandable. But the reality is, we know what Kool-Aid is. We don't drink it.
Never tasted it, but
Yeah, you know what I mean? But we know what Kool-Aid is.
Do they sell it? Do they sell it over there?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Not really. But we know what it is. We grew up on Bill Cosby and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, every single black, because there was a lack of it for ourselves.
Hey, is that those your real teeth?
Yes.
Now, how come you got good teeth, but
Braces.
I've been staring at
Okay.
your teeth the whole. I'm like, he has the best. I had
it's
braces
not the
for 6
1980s,
years.
1960s.
They're so good and white and pearly. Your orthodontist deserves an award.
Braces and whitening.
what whitening you
Yeah,
use?
what is your white?
That was so racist. Y'all can't do that to
What you
London
mean?
like that. Like, he's from London, his teeth are supposed to be fucked up.
Yeah, I was trying to
Oh.
find out why, and I didn't know if it was a black-white thing because I've seen the white people teeth out there, and it's not great. So I was like, maybe the black London people have good teeth, but the white people don't. I didn't know. What whitening? Please tell me.
It's I don't know the actual name of it.
Oh,
because-
this nigga.
No, because I had to go and like, so they're my teeth, but they're like they surgically kind of reshape them, and they got a thing that they do where they bleach.
Yeah, filing
Oh.
bleach.
Yeah, the actual teeth. You know what I mean? So it's basically kind of just reshaping
He
them.
got that good insurance.
No,
And
no,
it's
like,
sad.
no.
He got that
It is.
WBA.
No,
WTA.
when I did Britain's Got Talent, I had everything come to me. Everything come to me, and they was like, "Yeah, we can help you do this, blah blah blah." All they wanted from me is to promote
Sure.
the people that did it, and that was it really. So, and I never really thought about teeth, but teeth are so important.
Oh, so
Oh,
important.
absolutely.
That's one of the first things I noticed. You sat down. I was like, "This is a great smile. I'm loving
but the
it."
thing
A
is,
crooked tooth would distract me the whole conversation.
people tell me if we take a picture, don't smile.
Because it's
I've
so
been-
beautiful.
Because I'm embarrassing them.
Yeah, because everyone else looks
But
like
but you know what it is?
Yeah.
I forget every day. I forget, and I'm reminded.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but I always say to people, you want something that looks natural, nothing that looks crazy.
Yes.
Because we know that there's Simon Cowell's out
Yeah.
there. Do you know what I mean?
You know, Denzel top row.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So it was a good kind of like thing for me to do, and it kind of has helped a little bit. I think.
Man, Justine, you ever do black rooms? You ever?
You know, I used to a lot more when I first started.
Right. Then you
yeah.
wised up.
No, I just
So did Ed Sheeran.
I know, right? I know, right?
He started out with us too.
Get in and get out. So Justin Timberlake.
but
Justin
yeah,
Bieber.
Yeah,
Not
I would-
Justin Bieber. Right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
still
yeah,
with
yeah,
us,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, he's still, yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't been. I started doing the road a bunch more, and I think I just stopped. Mostly now it's Laugh Factory, but Laugh Factory has a pretty diverse crowd a
They
lot of the
do.
times. Yeah,
Depending on the night.
yeah,
Depending on the night. They
Yeah.
used to book me, and then
yeah.
new
But
booker.
I fucking love playing black rooms. I would play them again in a heartbeat. They're fun. You guys are down to laugh. You know, it's a fun time.
Yeah, when we laugh, we like the minority white person on our shows too.
And that's what I always was. So I remember I was on a show, some random like bar show in the Valley, and the Wayans were there, and they came up to me and they remembered me the next time I saw them. They were like, "Oh, you're the funny girl from Cozy's." So yeah, it's
Cozy.
yeah, Cozy's. Do you remember Cozy's?
Remember Cozy?
Yeah, I remember Cozy's.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Where you doing stand up at?
I started on the road with Marlon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, you started at the
I'ma
top.
get
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
I started at
it goes down from here.
Yeah, I know.
I started at the scariest moment. the first time I went up, I was like, yeah, I'm just do it. Let me get a shot. DC was like, no shot. You're going to sit in this. I was like, huh? Okay. He's like, all right, this is the first time. So I just want you to go up there, say what's up, see how it feels, test the waters, say a joke, see how it feels, and then bring me up.
Shout out to DC though
All right. I went out there. They screamed. I was like, okay, I didn't even say nothing yet. What was I gonna say? Then I said the first couple things, and it got a huge laugh, and I was like, okay. Hey, coming to the stage, DC.
Straight up.
Let me get out of here.
Tap
Because I
out while
couldn't
you're on
see
top.
nothing. It was 1,800 people. I only seen one bald head white dude and nothing else. And I was like,
1,800. What city? What venue?
that was in Boston.
Oh,
yeah.
was it the Wilbur?
No, it was another theater. I have to look it up. Yeah.
I think though when
1,800.
you start on a level like that as well, it's like, especially those numbers, they want you to be funny.
Yes.
The more people that turn up,
Yes.
no one's like this. Like,
And the more money they pay.
Yes.
right.
It's a whole lot easier than open mic.
Yeah,
Like,
but-
Yes, that's his
Open
point.
mic.
That's his point.
Yeah, open mic is like I should be on that stage.
Yeah.
like don't waste because I can come up
yeah.
there. So, but the more people that turn out, it'll be like it will look weird to say this, right? But the more people that there, it makes it easier to start
Yeah.
because they want you to be great. But when you're in a room and there's 10 people in there,
Yeah.
But I feel like you need the struggle.
Yes.
That's
Of
what's going to
course.
make you
Yeah.
funny because this is where every comedian fucks up. I know I'm such a comedy nerd. I know the exact moment where a comedian will either step up to the next level or they're going to start to plateau.
Yep.
And go down.
Yep.
It's the Madison Square Garden level. Once you get to a point where you're selling out Madison Square Garden, that means you have accumulated such a fan base that motherfuckers want to see you. Like, they're laughing at everything. They're laughing at whatever you say. That's one of the reasons Eddie Murphy said he stopped doing stand-up. He said because he started performing and whatever he said out of his mouth,
Yeah.
you couldn't find the honesty.
you can't
Yep.
find the honesty. And so then it's now up to the comedian, which is great for stand-up comedians now, the Bill Burrs, whoever. They go back to the club level.
Yep.
You have to. Because if you just start only playing to your crowd, you're not going to be genuinely funny again. So when the next time you put out a comedy special, people go be like, that ain't that funny.
Yep.
You know, because you didn't really go into like the trenches.
Yep.
Yeah.
And find out what's really funny to people.
I was just telling a newer comic this yesterday who he helps a lot of comedians with their clips, and he's a genius. His clips, he just has some special sauce that he puts on them. But because of it, he gets a lot of road work with these bigger comedians.
What's his name?
His name's Bobby Ulrich. He's very funny.
Yeah, I was like, who is this guy?
He's great. No, you guys should all. He's amazing. But
He works with Shantae.
yes, he does work with Shantae.
Oh, there you have it.
Yep. No, he's great. And
really
he's
good.
super funny, great at clips. But I was telling him, because he hasn't really, I don't think, had to go the open mic route. And I said, those are the kind of the most valuable rooms. Because if you get half a chuckle in there, you got something.
That's a fact.
You know?
Right now, I'm at the stage. If I went on stage and something didn't work, I would just get off. I wouldn't even know what to do. I was like,
Yeah,
bye. Yeah.
the rest won't work.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the comedy club is the gym.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? It's the gym. You go there, you work out. The only thing I would say, yeah, and this is just, again, an eye on being British in LA, is that the only thing I don't like about LA, the comedy circuit in LA, is people are paid for something prepared. Right? If you go into a restaurant, you pay for something prepared. I think sometimes there's an energy of, all right, let me just see what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I did that this weekend.
Do you know what I mean? And but I think it's an LA thing, and I think that there's no commitment to it then.
Also in LA, it's not just comedians on stage. It's people that are actors,
Yep.
Yeah,
directors.
yeah,
They're just like,
that's
hey,
true.
I'm going to try to make it one way.
That's so true.
And they come up there and just burn
That's
real
so true.
comedians' time. And
That's
it's
so
like,
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
But
that's so true.
Influencers.
But the thing too is, so like even when I was doing that this weekend, and okay, I was doing that this weekend, and hold on real quick, this camera, y'all keep talking. I just gotta turn this one back.
Yeah. No, I noticed that because for me, like, I come from, in the UK, it's full commitment.
Sure.
Even if it's new,
Right. Oh.
it's full commitment to a new joke.
Yeah.
Like, own it. And if it don't work, don't fix it. It's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I think there's a fear sometimes in LA of a joke not working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is the gym.
Yeah.
Well, also in LA, you also got people doing other people's material
Yeah.
because they just want to get on stage
Yeah.
and they're like, there might be a
Yep.
producer in the audience, might get a gig. They're not really trying to perfect the art or tell about themselves.
That's always so crazy to me. When I did my dance show, one girl did a bit that was full on an Angela Johnson bit. Like everyone in the crowd, and I'm just like, how with someone that famous, like you're just ripping. How can you get up there and not think that anyone? We're all.
But it's hiding in plain sight.
Yes, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's that. Well, why
Yeah.
would that person do that?
Right.
But that's why they would do it.
Right.
You know who I really get pissed off at is the audience. Because I'm like, y'all haven't.
They don't care.
I know, but not only do they not care, maybe they haven't seen it.
Sure.
But I'm like, y'all don't know.
Yeah.
This is Angela Johnson's
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Why are y'all laughing at this?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that kind of
But
makes
I feel
me.
like as comics, it doesn't. The sad part is no one cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only people that care are the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, because you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? You know what it's taken to go and come up
Right.
with that idea.
Right.
So you was the person that stepped in that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to throw those sneakers away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But here comes someone else with that experience.
Hey, you do have to throw sneakers away after you step in shit. Bro, I stepped in some cat shit in my backyard, some new Jordans. It was like Team Jordans, so it wasn't like real Jordans. But I had some new Team Jordans.
That's what you get.
I know, that's what I get. Stepped in a... Yeah, and who created Team Jordan? It probably wasn't
Nobody
Jordan.
on Jordan's team.
That's a fact. And that cat knew that. And that cat fucking laid a steamy pile of shit,
Oh my
bruh.
God.
Yeah, smoke was coming off that motherfucker.
Oh my God.
I stepped in that shit, bruh. I just knew me and that water hose was going to get the job done.
Yeah.
I took the water hose and I sprayed it, bruh. That cat shit would not come out of the crevices.
It's the crevices. It gets in there. I've taken a fork that I've then thrown away. Like, you got to get in there.
That's funny.
Now you're throwing away silverware.
I know. I'm throwing away silverware and shoes now.
Every time you step, you hear, they gotta go.
Yeah. Hey, I seen that picture with Chappelle.
Which
What
one?
y'all working on? Which one? Look at this one.
No, so do you know what? So the last 6 years, I've been when he does Europe, I tour with him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
so-
you was like touring with them.
Yeah, so literally, like I've been with Dave like last 6 years. So I've absorbed, I've listened. We were having like lunch and stuff, and just watching the kind of people. I'll say this, and I believe this to be true. I don't think anyone's got a green room backstage like Chappelle.
That's what I heard. He be playing music.
Like-
Tell us about it.
No,
Oh, yeah, tell us.
Yeah, I know, right?
no, forget the music. I'm talking about the people that are backstage. Like, we've done so many shows, but you're talking about in the same room you have Spike Lee, you have Damson Idris, you have Elon Musk, you have Madonna, you have like these people.
Which face of Madonna?
Yeah,
Is it?
TikTok Madonna.
I don't know.
Or like a prayer.
She just floated into the room.
Okay.
Naomi Campbell, Janet Jackson, Angela Bassett. And you're thinking like maybe like none of these people would just probably hang out together like that. But like this is
He didn't even get into the hip hop. You'll see De La Soul.
oh yeah, right.
You'll see like,
Right.
groups where you're like,
We did the Rose Bowl. Is it the Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
Right, last for the Netflix.
Is it the Rose Bowl? You know it goddamn well it's the Rose Bowl.
No, but I'm just making
That's
sure.
world famous.
I know, right?
I'm just making sure. But like so we was there and it's like backstage was, Marlon came through, Chris came through, Elon was there, Usher, Ludacris, Buster, Chris Brown.
Who was there that shouldn't have been there?
Oh, that wasn't the
That's
Rose Bowl.
funny.
That was at
Hollywood Bowl.
Hollywood Bowl.
Hollywood Bowl.
See?
I knew it was one of those bowls.
Who was there that shouldn't have been there?
That's the day the dude got chomped out.
Maybe me.
Maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Oh,
he
it
shouldn't
was?
have been
I was there. Yeah.
because he ended up backstage. And
Who?
the dude that tried
dude
to
that got
attack
stomped
them.
out.
Oh, well, yeah. The one that ended up like a broke
It's
pigeon
funny,
wing.
he ran
Two
from
right arms.
one crew into Buster's crew, and I was like, oh, you made the wrong turn.
Jamie Foxx is there as well.
Yeah.
You made the
Shout out
wrong
Johnny
turn.
Mac. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was there too.
everybody. Like it was, but I'm just like in awe of the kind of people that he attracts.
Yeah.
And they're all from different walks of life.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like you become bigger than your genre. It becomes something different. It becomes more on a humanity level. And it shows that you're being of service.
Yeah.
and that's sometimes I think we all kind of get into a lull sometimes where we forget why we're doing this.
Sure.
I liked what Chappelle did though when he hit his Madison Square Garden phase. He started telling more stories, so he knew you were laughing when it got to the point. He tell it even when he told the story, the pimp story. He tell it, you listen for 5 minutes, then it's bam. It's like, all right, they're not just laughing at everything I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And even he did one of his specials in the belly room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like
I was there for one of them. I opened up one of them nights.
yeah, it's going to like the world, but it's like to see the walls in a room and get that intimacy. Do you know what I mean? Is what I think you bring it back to, no matter how big you are, how successful you are. We were talking earlier about when you get to that Madison Square moment, you know, coming back to the gym. You know, you don't get a good body and stop working out. You got to maintain it. And that's what comedians do, right? You got to maintain the craft. So you have to go back into the dirt and face and go after those young, hungry guys that have nothing on this, you know, their resume, and they just want something. They're hungry.
They're hungry.
Right.
It gets hard at that point too, because then people start thinking you are comedy.
Yeah.
Not like you're just funny. It's like, oh no, you got to do it Dave's way. Or
Yeah.
Well, I was actually
that's true.
hold on, expound on that. What you mean by that exactly?
Because the audience gets used to seeing Dave, and they're like, oh, they touted him as the GOAT. So now let's see you be like Dave.
Right.
Right. Well, step your shit up.
Well, Monday,
Format different.
Monday, I was at the Improv, and Mike Epps turned up, and Mike jumped on the stage, and then another comedian followed Mike, and all I was saying in my head is, just do your shit. Don't even reference it. Just do your thing. And the first thing he did was, oh man, I gotta go after Mike.
Oh, you done fucked yourself.
Yeah.
And then with Mike, it's not really many tags because he's kind of all over the place.
Well, exactly. But like, I don't give a damn who goes ahead of me. I've got my own.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't care who goes ahead of me, and I've got my own, and I'm going to bomb my way, and I'm going to kill my way.
Yeah. Ooh.
And that's it. And like, I was just hoping that he didn't reference it, because you got jokes to tell. People they've stayed now, so tell them why they should have stayed, because that's Mike's moment. Have your own. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
I like following celebrities.
I love it.
It's like I prove it to myself. They never stick around though to see how I just smashed right after this. But Amy Schumer, I had to follow her. She was about to host like the VMAs years ago. I had to follow her at the Improv one night, and I think Judd Apatow, I had to follow him one night. But I always tell people the only person I've ever had difficulty following so far, I haven't followed Chappelle or nothing like that, is Brad Williams.
Brad crushes hard.
Brad destroyed.
Yeah.
I tried to follow him. I had to follow him at what's the spot at Supernova.
The only person I feel like I would want to follow, if I'm really honest, is Tony Roberts.
Somebody else said that too. Yeah.
Like there's nothing left.
Yeah.
There is nothing left, I think, when Tony
He's
goes
already drenched the crowd.
everything. Because he's a squeezer. Like, he won't just touch the topic and run. He stays in it. He really gets all the water out.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, that's someone that I would be like, I mean, I would always go and do my thing, but I would be conscious of him, because he's brilliant in squeezing a subject.
I've seen Kevin Hart pop up at spots, and it's kind of hard to follow him because when he leaves, the audience.
Oh yeah, they do.
But that's a lot of
last
people.
joke, and he leaves, and everybody's like, I guess we're going. It's like, no.
Because he represents the end.
Yeah.
Some comedians represent the end for audiences.
Yeah.
They think, okay, well,
You're like,
that
there's
must
8
have been
more
it.
comics. He just wants to get home to the kids.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, because it's like that's the plateau. It's like, well, who's gonna follow? You seen the celebrity.
Yeah.
It's like, well, who's gonna follow that? You know, I don't know. I think
it's doable,
especially in his workout phase.
It's definitely doable. It's definitely doable. And I heard Chris Spencer say I think I was at the Laugh Factory one night, and Chris Tucker had went up. I think it was Chris Tucker went up, and then D-Ray had to follow him. And D-Ray like brought it was either Chris Tucker or Tracy Morgan. All these niggas look the same to me. So no,
they all look successful.
They all look successful. Yeah. Their bank account is very, very, very much better than mine. So Chris Spencer said, "Look how D-Ray, he's gonna bring the energy down, and then get him create his own space, and then D-Ray killed, bro. And that be the key. It's like you can't worry about what the person ahead of you just did. You know, you just gotta be like, okay, I see. You gotta reset the room. That's what they say.
Well, D-Ray's good at that when he does his night because he does bring the energy back down to his energy, and then the next comedian will go up. Very few times I think he just throws the next person on. That for me is, and it's funny to say Chris Spencer. Chris Spencer is probably the best host I've seen.
Yes.
Fire, yeah.
Like I've
So
seen.
good.
Yeah.
And that's where even when I used to do my rooms in London, I learned a lot of how Chris knew when to do material, when to bring the energy back up if someone didn't do great, when to keep it rolling because the energy's where you want it.
Yep.
It's a comedian understanding that it's not about me. I'm here to guide the evening as a host.
Yep.
And not be like, let me do half an hour and then bring up a new guy.
Yep.
Isn't he the OG Chocolate Sunday host?
That's when I used to see him when he used to Chocolate Sunday.
Chris has been murdering forever.
Yeah.
I've known Chris about
He's so
40
good.
years.
Yeah.
He's everybody's best friend. I keep telling him to do this. My bad. What you about to
Oh,
say?
I was just gonna say I saw him at Bourbon Room a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month or two ago. He crushed so hard, and it was Mulaney on that show.
I heard
Nick
Mulaney
Kroll.
talk about that show.
Yeah, it was a really good show, but Chris was
I'm fine.
Chris
on
held his
fi-
own. He
was
came up with a
fire.
squad.
Yeah.
Right.
Daryl
He was
Heath,
so
Alex
good.
Thomas,
Yep.
Yeah.
Chris Spencer.
Yeah.
He's
That's
prepping
when
to
Chappelle
shoot a
time.
special.
He didn't shoot it the other day.
Yeah, he did.
He did shoot it?
Spence shot it last 2 weeks ago. A week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Damn, I wish I was there for that. I ain't know about
Yeah,
that.
you shot it. I heard it was dope, man.
Yeah, no, he's a beast. He's a beast. What is a piece of advice? I definitely want to know a piece of advice or something you learned from Chappelle, and I want something that you've learned from your family. Pick whoever, and then just somebody like in the business. Like, what's some advices or gems that one of them done dropped on y'all?
Well, one was as long as you create, you'll always have a job.
Yeah.
I love that.
Two is honesty will get you everywhere. You get on stage and be honest, and you'll be surprised how many people are living the same thing you're living, but just won't speak out.
That's a fact.
Stand up is the best therapy, is what I've heard.
That's a
what
fact.
I'm finding out.
Yeah. What about y'all?
You know, I was on a show with Eric Griffin like 2 nights ago. We were just shooting the shit in the green room, and
He's funny, man.
he's so funny, man.
beast.
God.
And he's just so interesting to talk to. As he has such, I love him. He's like Big Brother vibes. But he said, you have to find who you're speaking for. And I've never thought of it that way. Obviously, it's always find your audience, but who you're speaking for, who you're representing. Because he was mentioning some comics. I don't get them. I don't like their humor, but they have a crowd that they are speaking for and who they're representing. So that just kind of put it into perspective in a new way for me. That just happened like this week.
Yeah, man, I would just say, like, I just found out that, Matt Rife, who's killing it right now.
Yeah.
Like, he used to live with Eric Griffin.
Yeah.
Griffin. Like, when he first moved out here.
Yeah.
Like, that was, like, his mentor. So, and to see where he's at now, I know he was dropping them gems on Matt since he was 16.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny. They used to come play Call of Duty. So I'm like, it wasn't gems he was dropping. He was talking a lot of shit too. We still got to Jack Jr.
And what's something you learned from Chappelle?
So
Being
check
on the
this
road?
out. So when I did, the final of Britain's Got Talent, I was in the final and I came fourth, right? And Dave was in town. So I went to, so Dave messaged me and said, oh yeah, I'm at such and such hotel, come through. So I go there, like Ed Sheeran's there. There's a magician called Dynamo from the UK, and he was there as well. So they were just chilling.
Was that Teletubby dude there?
Who? John Zimmett.
The one he's popular out there. He's always at the comedy.
So he used to be my manager, actually.
That's funny.
John Zimmett, he's a comedian. Yeah, you know a lot. You know a lot, Craig.
Craig have been around.
Well, he took us around when we went to London.
Oh, yeah, right. There you
Him
go.
and the Soul to Soul lady.
Oh, okay. So I go to the hotel, meet Dave, blah, blah, blah. So Dave was like, yo, how did it go? So I was like, I came fourth. And I remember Britain's Got Talent is probably the first thing that I actually wanted to win. I've never really had a competitive spirit. I've always kind of just been like, I trust me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always trust myself, so I never really worried about it. But this was the first thing. Because even Simon was like, I want you to want to win this. And he kind of injected that competitive spirit. So I went in there and then I kind of felt a little bit deflated because mentally it's like 6 months of just going through this process.
Yeah.
So I remember I spoke to Dave, and I was like, yeah, I came forth, and but you're like, I'm sure things will happen. I mean, my life changed after it, but I didn't know at the time. And then he was like, listen, I did a show years ago, a comedy competition years ago, and I went on stage, and then there was a popular comedian at the time, and I beat him, and I got to the final, and he goes, guess who won? And he goes, and someone else won the final, and he goes, guess who that was? And I said, I don't know. He said, exactly.
That's a fact.
But you know who Dave Chappelle is. Do you know what I mean? And then that straight away was for me. It's like sometimes winning isn't winning, and losing is winning. Yeah. Because it's all about the next stop. Everything we do.
The next piece of your journey.
Yeah, everything we do is only a stop.
Yeah.
When you think, oh, I can't wait. Once I get this, you're gonna want something else. You're gonna want something else, and I think that kind of really made me look at the beauty in what I'd done, the journey that I had just gone through, and to celebrate that I had like 150 million views on YouTube.
Damn.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like that changed everything.
Yeah.
So those were the victories. Those were the blessings. So sometimes you got to find the blessing in failure, find the blessing in rejection, find all of those things, because they're just seasoning for the meal that's for you.
Yeah, man. Marlon Wayans told me one time, he was like, hey, just do you.
Yeah.
I mean, and even that.
I thought he was going to say, he said, fuck you.
That's
some good advice.
He's told me that several times to my face, actually. Shout out to Marlon. But I mean, something that's simplistic as that was like, yeah, you're right. You just got to do you. Because I feel like everybody be trying to fit in with other people. Yeah. And it's like, you being you is what's going to make you stand out.
That's so true. Like, I feel like for a long time I was kind of like, oh, this is hot, I should try and do this. Oh, this is... But then when I kind of followed my own passion and interest and joy and bliss, as, corny as that kind of sounds, as secrety as that sounds, that's when shit started kind of popping for me.
Well, the only original thing about the comedy scene is you.
Yeah, exactly.
It is you.
Exactly.
And it comes back to what Craig said, is about... you are trying to find the person's voice that you're going to represent, but ultimately, you can't do that unless you know what your voice is.
Exactly. Yes.
It's so important to stay with your voice, because there are so many people who stay in this business for a long time and then their moment comes, because that is what is in season. Yeah. But if you go with what's in season, you're going to be a chameleon.
Sam Jackson, he didn't become famous till he was in his 40s. Danny DeVito, same thing.
It's like the person that can play every position normally is on the bench. Yeah. Because they come in to fill the void of that person who only plays that position. Right. So you don't necessarily need to be the person that can play everything. Where stick to what your message is right now. And now we're no different from rappers. Our albums change because our situations change. Yeah. And it's about being authentic in the moment that you're currently in and embracing that moment and allowing yourself to kind of just be present. Because sometimes we're so focused on the end goal that we're not present and on where we are right now and trying to master the chapter that we're in now. Do you know what I mean? And as comedians, I think it's important to also celebrate in the process, because the best part of what we do is the journey. Yeah. The best part of it is the journey. Like, the people who are up there, they're not having as much fun as us, I'm telling you. Not creatively.
Yeah. Oh, I'm about to say, you don't think Chappelle having a grand?
No, because he always runs back to the comedy club.
You can't do nothing regular.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why even when Dave goes to clubs, he's like, we went in Miami, he's behind the bar DJing just so that he's not in the mix of everybody asking him. He could just be regular and listen to music with that divider.
He's searching for regular on a constant basis. Like, I've been around him. Everything he does, he normalizes everything, because the rest of it is uncomfortable.
Yeah. I was with a comedian, and he was telling me how, he said, I was backstage with Chris Rock, Chappelle, and Kevin Hart. He said, I wouldn't want to be none of them, because they was all just talking about what they was having to deal with at that level. Because people think you got an X amount of dollars in the bank, you got an X amount of fame, and that's going to alleviate all the stress. And really all that does is magnify all the issues that you may be having.
Dave once said to me, like, know your price.
I heard Jamie Foxx say that too.
Know your price, and don't go beyond that. Don't go beyond that. And it doesn't mean that you won't make more money. It just means that you know your price. Somebody who I think really exudes that is Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
When he named his price, when he got that, now it's like I'll come out when I feel like doing it. Like I just saw Air recently, and I was just so like excited to just see him on the screen again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to see him on the, I don't care if he was great or bad or whatever, just to see him on the screen again, because he's got that value now where it's not, you know, he's not oversharing himself.
I do even on my little level, I do the same shit. It's like I did the network TV. I have X amount of dollars in the bank. I bought real estate. I'll do an audition when I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? So even on my little scale, it's like I know what my price is, what my value is, and it's like, and I know what my bar is when it comes to just like quality work.
Yeah.
And if I'm looking at something and I feel like the script is trash or whatever the case is, I'm not even gonna like use that energy to do that.
Because you've been there.
Yeah.
You've already been there. It's just, you're seeking a new high. You're seeking something that excites you. And our delivery, you know, I've met some dope people. I got to speak to Oprah once. And Oprah speaks about frequency. She said, if I continue to go to places that people invite me to because I'm worried about what they will say if I don't turn up, when I get there, my frequency's down anyway. I'm gonna exude I don't want to be here.
Right.
Now it's, what's wrong with her? Why? Well, I thought she was nicer than this. She's got, and a lot of us do things to other people, but our frequency is like, everything about us says I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And now you look like you got an attitude. So it's like when you want to do a certain audition because it excites you, it's work that you feel like, you know, this is why I started this.
Yeah.
Your aura and everything about your energy is right. Even how you audition will be different.
Right.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Well, I think another key element that you kind of touch on is trusting your own instincts,
Yes.
you know,
Oh my God.
and not questioning everything that because I used to do improv when I first started, before I did stand-up, by the way. When I started doing stand-up, I was like, oh, this is so great because everything's on me. If a joke succeeds, it's on me. If it tanks, it's on me. Like, I'm calling the shots, so I'm the only one I can blame or celebrate, you know? Whereas in an improv scene, if someone makes a bad call, you know, you have to kind of yes and go with it. But I think, just trusting your instincts, no matter who you're dealing with. Because there's some big people in here who will try and talk you out of what you want to do. But I think ultimately you got to trust your own shit.
We are in the put it out there generation.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
YouTube's proved that, because I watch YouTube and a lot of times I'll be like, I don't get it. And then I'll look and be like, oh shit, it got 50 million views.
Yeah.
Maybe I got to make an adjustment. But we're in the put it out there era.
Yep.
Man, phenomenal episode. I knew this was gonna be fire. I knew where like everyone's at, kind of like what they've accomplished, you know, in the industry, and I knew we was gonna be able to have like a big boy, big girl talk. On this episode.
Yeah.
Yo, what y'all got? What y'all socials? Anything coming out we should look out for?
At Craig Wayans on everything. I'll tell you as it comes up.
Yeah. I'm at Justine Machine 1 on everything, and I have a podcast, Glitter and Garbage, that Justin's going to be on. Yes.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We're
doing it tomorrow. So I gotta write down other topics that we didn't cover today.
No, but see, your audience may not hear.
Oh, it'll be so different. Yeah. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Kojo Anim live on everything. And I'm just on these stages, man, just trying to get my rhythm out here, building some stuff, working on a sitcom and a new hour. So, and yeah, because I lost my mum as well last year, like this hour I think is my most personal.
Oh.
Yeah, because I feel like
Special worthy.
Yeah, because I feel like it's
Special.
It is special, but I also feel like I've been in this game for 25 years next year.
Wow.
And no one knows who I am.
I feel like that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I'm at the space now where I've got to let people in.
Yeah.
Because I can't ask from an audience when they don't know who they're coming to see.
Yeah.
And I think now it's beyond the jokes. It's a journey.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, man, well, look out for that special, man. Appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, share the clips. And if anybody was offended by anything that we said today, just remember one thing. Fuck your feelings. We out.